Lay in space with tarot cards, moon and stars like astrology. Reincarnated, so peep the style, homie. Been royal millions of years, they kept the crown from me. Started off in the root chakra, primordial waters. Like walking blindfolded, everything was dark. Saw the wickedness in the world and all the cold.
Peace, 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 family. How's everybody doing? I hope you all are having a wonderful spring equinox. I have been putting off doing this video for a while, so forgive me. But here I am. I actually wasn't going to do this video today, I'm not going to lie. I felt like I was bombarding y'all with too many videos, but I said I might as well just go ahead and get this out. Because we got a pretty big week coming up, family. And the spring equinox is the activation to this energy. And I'll be posting some more stuff tomorrow. Horoscopes for... that's going to explain a little bit more why I'm expressing this. So please grab a seat, buckle up, and no fear mongering here, but I do want to be honest. I think I've been tiptoeing over this Mars energy for quite some time now. I've been trying to be nice about it and find other intelligent ways to speak about it, but I think it's time we have an honest conversation now. So again, I really don't want to do the fear mongering thing. I don't, but I do want to be honest. So beware that if you're not interested in hearing anything about the whatever, you might not want to listen to this, because there is some truths in here. I'm not going to go too deep. This shouldn't be too long, but I am going to touch upon some of the despair that I see coming. And I'm going to do some personal stuff too. It's not all bad, but it is a lot further down the line, I believe. And then I'm going to touch a little bit on the ancient history of the equinox and how we can see that playing out as well, which is exciting. So hit that like, share, subscribe, and notification so that you are notified every time we go live. And let's get on into it. So, the spring equinox really sets the stage for the next 12 months over the next 3 months. So anything happening now until the end of June, I think, is what we can start to look forward to, or the themes that come up from that time are what we will see over the next year. And then the sun moves into Aries today. So happy birthday, all my Aries. And we will have a square to the moon in Libra and Pluto in Capricorn. Now for the moon, that rules on the world stage the people, and Libra rules fairness, justice, equality of the people, and then Pluto in Capricorn rules power and control, how people use their power, and kind of all those things that I've been talking about. If you've been listening to me for a while, you already know what it is. I think the most important thing to keep in mind, family, as we have this discussion is that all this is really happening to usher us into this more freer energy that Aquarius wants us to step into. Unfortunately, sometimes the universe can be cruel. in the way that it feels like those things need to be done. And so if we're being super honest about energy, okay, I'm not going to try to focus on the people or blaming anybody, but the energy, in order for it to cleanse or renew, if you will, it has to break ground, right? It has to break through, right? It has to emerge, right? It has to kind of have this, there's this idea of the energy, the explanation of the energy of pain, right? Going through something traumatic, right? Even in the ancient stories, this is true. If you go back to the video I did on the winter solstice, it's all about going through some kind of pain. And so that's what we're going to see, unfortunately. It's kind of like on a higher vibration, if you look at it from the perspective of somebody who had to go through a very tough lesson in order to be prepared for all tough lessons, is that you have to find a peace of mind within you to get through, right? That's the bigger message here on a more higher understanding, and not, I'm trying to stay away from the scare tactics. And so in a sense, we're going to see a lot of those lower vibrations being played out quite extreme, in my personal opinion. I mean, obviously, right, there's a whole war going on in Ukraine, so I know you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And that's going to be happening within our lives. So things are going to come up. And I think it's because it's on the precipice of this Virgo full moon. I think it's going to be in very Virgo-like ways. I think they're going to come up through our health. We're going to have a lot of health conditions bubbling up and coming through. A lot of emotional needs. When we're talking about Pluto and Capricorn, being vulnerable and struggling with vulnerability and breaking free from the mind of something. So that Phoenix rising is like the caterpillar becoming a butterfly, where now you have a higher perspective of things. But in order to go through that, you gotta go through some darkness, some hard times, something that's going to make you, force you into change. And I feel like that's what this energy is going to feel like, a breakthrough. You know, like when pregnant women have that baby and that baby's head comes through there. Whew, let me just tell y'all something. That shit hurts. But when that baby comes out, it's so beautiful. You know, it's one of those experiences that you absolutely wouldn't wish on anybody, even your worst enemy. But the outcome, in order to get to the outcome, wow, you know, it's just beautiful. And so there's an a sense of that destruction going on with Aries. Now, I did do a video on Mars. I'm trying to explain this. I'm trying to prepare you guys as lightly as possible. But the honest God truth is that things are going to get a lot worse before they get better, because of what time it is. We are ending not just any 12-year cycle, 4-year cycle, 5-year cycle. We're talking about an entire age here, and we're moving into an entirely new age, the age of Aquarius. And so there's a lot of destruction around all those old things that was built. And as you could imagine, the people who built them because it suited them, right? We know that, but it doesn't suit the people, right? And so Aquarius ruling, also being the ruler of the people, is saying, we're not going to take it anymore. We are going to rebel against whatever it is they come with us on this upgrade that's happening right now. And so I think this is going to be in areas of work and our survival, right? Aries is about our instinctual need to survive, right? And so this is also their instinctual need to survive. And so they're going to fight as hard as we are going to fight. And so they're going to fight by way of work. And so if you feel like you're being strained or pressured or forced in some way, shape, or form to quit. Whatever pain, pressure, sadness, lack, discomfort, dis-ease, let it go and give it to God, right? Just don't fight it. If any of these things are coming up, let it go. Don't fight it in the way that you're going to, rebel against the people taking your job from you because of COVID. I don't care what anybody says. I think COVID's going to come up again. I've actually heard a few stories where it's merged its ugly head. And so that could be the same here as well. Or there's some new and infused vaccines or, all these other things that they've been kind of doing. And it's going to stop us from putting us in positions where we can make money and survival, and that's okay. Don't fight it. Just let it go. Something else will come in, right? See that as an ending for a new beginning. It's a force to get you to get off the system because the system is falling anyway, right? If this comes up in health issues, I do feel strongly with Libra here because Libra brings in help, the support of help to any situation that you're having. That's just what Libra does. It bridges the gap between a problem and a solution. Okay. If you need counseling, don't fight it. You'll find the right counselor. I feel like there's so many different ways this could come up, but that was the one that was coming up to me the most, is work and health, because those are the areas that Virgo rules. So doesn't Capricorn. So they might come up with some more restrictions around your business, or like the loans, the money that they gave out. And I notice now that they're, making people pay the loans back when those were supposed to be 30-year loans, by the way. Don't even pay no mind to it. They're just trying to do things to cause distress within you. Ignore it. Do comply with whatever they say, but in your mind, once you do that, let it go. If you can pay it, you can pay it. If you can't, you can't. Who cares? This also could be the stopping of loans or any kind of banks, issues with banks and things of that nature, because, it's also ran by Pluto in a sense. I also think this could be shocking changes in England. I know London. I know there's a lot of people who listen to my channel who are from London, and I keep seeing London coming up quite strongly, especially something around the royal family. There could even be a death of a high authority figure, whether that's London or not. Either way, I think that people are going to start to get on a more spiritual path and learn through spirituality and knowledge of self. That's Mars energy as well, and Pluto together. And then Saturn and Taurus and the North Node are coming together during this time. which could indicate greater attempts of control of our freedom of speech, especially between the internet and social media. But on the positive side, again, if that happens, let it go. Let it fly. But the solutions, get more subscriptions. Anything subscriptions. If you have a business, start putting your business on platforms where you need subscriptions. That's going to help you in the long run, because you can speak whatever you want. The unfortunate part about that is that people have to pay, and people might not like that, or they can't afford it. We already know how our culture is. We're struggling. Unfortunately, family, this is it. Like, this is it. This is the way it's got to be now. And until we get more clear, more better, more support within these new confines, it might take time before we get free services, especially in places where we can speak freely and we don't have to be forced to change, which really is a more stronger indication of the importance of financial literacy at this time, and really understanding what you're building, your worth and your value around that, getting really grounded and really clear, and changing your mind about the way how you think about money. Whether you like it or not, you need it to survive in this world, period. And until we get some new structures, which there will be, we will form new social structures because of this. But in the meantime, you're going to have to do what you got to do to survive, right? And so get more structured in your budgeting and saving and your priorities on what you spend your money on. If it's something that's giving you value, great. If it's a material offer, I'm trying to tell you there is a death to the idea that you need material items in order to live in this world. We need to live off the land. We need to take more care of the land. And there is going to be more stronger, harder, harsher indications that push us to this idea, unfortunately, because that's the mission, and we have to get back on track. We are way too far off from that ideology and those beliefs and those practices, and we are killing ourselves and the earth that we live on. You know, if you are somebody who believes that a car is more important when you can't even pay your bills, you might want to rethink your priorities. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm not talking down on anybody, but this is it. This is the transformation that is being asked of us to take at this time for survival. It's not about trying to keep up with the Joneses, even though these are all things that we've been taught. They are not real. And the moment you let go of the idea that you need some material item, no matter how hard it might seem, the better off your life will be. And it allows new things to come in. So try not to see it as an ending to something that you're never going to be able to get back again, but again, something more longer, further down the line. And I think that's what Saturn is also indicating here. And I talked about this from a different perspective before, where it's more like Saturn is about long-term planning. Over time, things get better. With time, things get better. And it's in the same sense with this process of change on the world stage. So there's that with that. And then Venus, Mars conjunction, square Uranus. These are the horoscopes that I did. I believe I set them up for tomorrow. So, I'm not selling cheese pies and cupcakes here, I know, like everybody's like, who the hell eats cheese pies, quiche? Whatever. That was the words that came to my mouth. Oh, this is going to be volatile. And we have these transits from all of this week until the first week of April. So, hold on tight and remember there's a real purpose behind this, which will get you off to better, bigger and better opportunities. I promise you, family, this is not all bad. It's a moment in time that needs to take place. I do think it's going to be a lot longer than people might be anticipating at this time, or that we can really see at this time. But for the most part, it's all going to be about ripping the reality that doesn't help us anymore away until we get it. Like, we do not want to live off of this reality anymore because it's not bringing us value. It is not bringing us greatness. It is not allowing us to grow prosperously into the people that we are actually meant to be. It's just not. And we all know that. I know we know that. But the conditioning is so strong, family. I mean, we've been doing this for, like I said, this is a 400-year cycle we're talking about here. You know, we've been on this path of destruction. That's a lot. And so be easy on yourself, but give it to God. Give your problems to God. I hate saying it like that because I know there's not a lot of religious people in here. So give it unto the universe. Let it go and know that Spirit has got your back, right? Surrender and watch your life change. Watch how you're guided and led when you peace, be still. Watch your ancestors show up for you. I promise. And so back to what I was talking about for that Venus-Mars conjunction, which I've been talking about excessively, so you can go back to a lot of those videos if need be. Square Uranus and Taurus is more likely to bring volatility in currency, wealth, financing, banking, economies. Obviously, this could bring the digital currency, right? But essentially what we're talking about here with this energy are earthquakes of all kinds, political, cyber attacks, blackouts, and in your personal life, this is arguments, eruptions, that could almost seem like they've come out of nowhere, but we know that we've been working on this for a long time. People really haven't been in the place to make a move or to say much because of all the Pisces and Capricorn and Aquarius energies that are just very internal. You know, it's more of the internal work. Not to mention from December, that winter solstice is an internal time. You know, we're in the underworld now, and we're going to get into that ancient explanation here in a minute so that we can also see from that perspective how it's still very valid and plays a big role in our lives. But technically, it just wasn't time to move. And that's just the bottom line. So again, I'll say, don't be hard on yourself, right? This is not about beating yourself up. If you are struggling with these things, the energy will pick up. I'd say now, and it has been since they've been in Aquarius, because Aquarius does offer that Uranian energy, but we've still been bombarded with Pisces transits. And so as we move, all those Venus, Mars, Mercury, as those planets begin to move into Aries, then that speed's really, really going to pick up, and all that energy is really, really going to pick up, and people are going to start screaming at the top of their lungs now, this is what I want, this is what I need, and expressing everything that has been asked of them, you know. And in some cases, it might be a royal fuck you. I'm just going to be honest. That's Marsian energy. It doesn't have to be rude, but they've probably been asking for it for a while and haven't gotten the results that they want. And so sometimes, like I said, it's just a necessary evil where you just got to put your foot on someone's throat. metaphorically speaking, of course. But it's a necessary evil. And so however things are coming up, just be mindful that people are going through something and not to bite back, but hear, listen. When people show you who they are, listen. Take 10 steps back, and do it for yourself as well. Mars is knowledge of self. Again, it's the first house. People are going to just get a little bit more selfish during these Mars placements. A very respectful fuck you. I got to do me right now, and very well deserved, right? Very well deserved. Okay. This could also be new relationships, new family, new soul tribe of people who are on your wavelength. It's when the sun enters into Aries, so major energy shift in general. And then Mars, the ruling planet of Aries, is also going to be activated. So this is the start of something new, genuinely. So the real new year is all that is indicating. A massive awakening of a more spiritual sense of self is the overall goal. And again, it'll take some time before we really see it, but there are people already feeling this, and they're going to grow within that knowledge and power. A new world that's going to be just really beautiful, and it will get there. I do believe that, but we got to go through the storm first. And so in ancient times, this time was a representation of Inanna, also known as Ishtar. She's the queen of heaven and earth. She journeyed to the underworld, and you guys already know, if you listen to my winter solstice, the underworld is the Capricorn, the winter solstice, right? And while she's down there, there's an idea that things don't grow. There's no fertility, agriculture. The world is asleep, and nothing gets done. So again, going back to that idea of not being so hard on yourself, because literally that's the time to do the inner work. It's the dark night of the soul. It's when you really consider, like, what have you done over the last year? What would you like to accomplish in this new year? And gaining more value of self and knowledge of self here about what you want. And then come Aries season, spring season, both same thing, which is when she returns, things start to grow again. The plants start to wake up. The animals get activated. This is also a suggestion of a marriage here, if you know the story. Essentially, this is a time of celebration, light, a celebration of light, new ideas, and new beginnings. So really celebrate, family, like it's a new year. Don't let this time pass without it. No matter how you do that, whether you're just spring cleaning, opening all the windows in your house, allowing new light in, your spiritual practices, or you're going out and partying like a rock star, does not matter. You have to celebrate your wins and losses, especially your losses. Do not let this time pass without giving the lower parts of yourself a real great, grand, big hug. You'll be doing yourself a disservice if you don't acknowledge the fact that nobody is perfect, right? It's just not a thing after all that we've been through in this human body. It's just not, right? But we will get to that spirit self, that 5D, that more freeing energy that Aquarius wants so badly for us. But we can't do that without acknowledging that we've had to go through the mud to get here. Don't you ever, 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 ever forget that in your times of need. Have your moment as you are human. It comes with the process, but you don't stay there. You get up, you give yourself a hug, You do whatever it is you have to do that's going to make you feel good about making that next step. And you start the stepping. You get in your power, you make your moves, and you continue on your journey. Do not let these people bring you down with all the gloom and glory that we will experience eventually. Don't let them take away your joy. And remember, that's the lesson of Pisces season, is to find peace within yourself despite the turmoil going on around you. All right, family? I love and appreciate every single one of you. I hope you found this information